Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I have a super special box to share. I really am so excited to share this because I love it. This is going to take a little bit longer. The video will be a little bit longer because it's more involved, but this box is totally worth it. Look at the front. Is he not the most adorable? And I actually started to make a box with, a card with him. And when I cut him out, I thought, oh my goodness, that's going to fit on a box perfect. I could use a window sheet and it will be super cute. And it did take me a while to get the measurements because it's so big, but this is something that I would give like a friend or a neighbor that fill it with like chocolates or cookies. It's perfect for that because it's such a good size. So this is what I'm sharing today. And I just love this ribbon too. So we better get started. All right. So I'm going to just tell you what we're going to need. And you are going to need two 12 by 12s for this because the pieces that you'll need are going to be one piece that's 10 by 9 3/4 and then another piece that's 9 by 9 3/4. And Stampin' Up! Has come out this holiday catalog with the 12 by 12s in the real red, and then we have garden green and we have cherry cobbler. So I'm super excited we got the 12 by 12s because I can make boxes this size again. And then for the lid, you're going to need a piece that's 5 9/16 by 5 9/16. Now when we what this is 1/8 past the 5.5 inch mark. We need it a little bit bigger for the box. So 5 9/16 by 5 9/16. You'll need a piece of window sheet, and this is 4 by 4. And this window sheet you've seen me use before. It is called the Fabulous Foil Designer Acetate. It's this acetate and it has a gold side and a silver side, and absolutely gorgeous. And so this is what I'm using because I thought it looked like snow and I thought it would be perfect for this box. And then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is to cut our Santa out. This is the Detailed Santa, and he is absolutely detailed. I just love him, and I really wanted to make a card with him, and I probably still will, but after I cut it, I just cut that piece out. I was like, oh my goodness, I can make a box. So, and then it comes with these two little borders also that you can use. I'm not using them for this project. So, all right, let's get this all out of the way, and I'm just going to keep our Detailed Santa. I'll bring the big shot up here real quick. And for him, I'm actually using our precision platform because he's very detailed, and this is perfect for this kind of die, this kind of framelit. So we're going to put that 4 1/4, and we're going to center him right in the middle as best that we can. Just eyeball it, but make sure you get it really close. And then we're going to run it through. So I have my multi-purpose platform, the precision platform, and then my paper and my framelit, or my Thinlit, and then my mat. And so we're going to run it through, and I'm going to do it a couple times to make sure I have him really good. All right. So let's pull it out here. And I'm going to use my little poker to get most of the detailed part out. You can just start poking these little holes and it loosens it up and it makes it a lot easier to come out. You're going to have a lot of little swirly duels, the little swirly things, and I would keep those because I could think of things to use for those. Put them in a little shaker card and this is so detailed. Take your time to get it out because you don't want to rip it. You want it to be perfect. And I just kind of go randomly. I don't go over every single little hole, but it sure does help to release it. And when I come to a point where it doesn't want to release very well, I just keep poking through. And I don't want to rip them or anything, so I'm being very super careful. And here he comes. Look at how cute. And you might have a few pieces still stuck, but see how well that cuts using the precision platform. And I'm just going to get these last little pieces poked out. There's just a couple. It actually left 3 little pieces. All right, and then when you poke these out, these little swirly things, just keep them, because I could think of things to use. Those are so cute. All right, so that is done. Let's grab our window sheet, and I'm actually using our Crystal Effects. There's other brands that have these. We don't carry this anymore, but I'm just using this to attach it. You could probably use your Tombow. This just really holds it really nicely, and I'm just going around the edges, and I'm actually going to hit some of these bigger areas so they lay flat. And just a few little dots here and there to hold it to the acetate. Okay, I think that's good. I just want it to be really flat. So then I'm going to just take my acetate. You can use the gold side or the silver, but I'm just using the silver. And with this, you have a few minutes to move it around if you need to. But I'm just going to hold it down there for just a minute, and then we're going to set it aside and work on our box. So look at, isn't he adorable? I just love him. And when you see little pieces like this stick up, I just added some to the back and glued it down. You're not going to see it. This dries really clear. Hold it down for a minute. And I'm not going to get too picky because we've got so much to go over. I'm going to do this one little piece. Sorry if my head gets in the way. I had to really lift the camera viewer because it's so large. I wanted you to see everything. All right, so we're ready to set that aside, and let's work on our box. So let me grab the trimmer, and we'll start scoring our pieces. All right, so let's start with the largest piece, which is 10 by 9 3/4. So this is the 10-inch side. So we're going to score it at 1/2, at 5, and at 9 1/2. And then we're going to turn it and score it at 5 1/2. All right, then our next piece is 9 by 9 3/4. So let me make sure what side I have here. This is the 9 3/4 side. So we're going to score this at 5 1/2. And then turn it and score it at 4 1/2. Okay, let's set that aside, and let's just go ahead and score our lid while we have it. And we're just going to score 1/2 inch all the way around on the lid. All right, so that is the scoring for everything. So let me grab the 2 rail grids here, and this is, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen all these because it is important. It's a big box. All these need to be really sharpened really well. So I'm going to do that on both sheets, and I'll fast forward it. So okay, so what you have are 2 pieces. This one has the little these are the glue tabs, and then this one's just a solid piece. So you're going to look at it, and this 5 1/2 inch side is going to be your longer side. So the bottom part is your flaps. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the little tabs off the bottom part. Just like that on both sides, because we don't need those. And then we're going to cut up here because these are our bottom flaps. I know they look huge, and they are, but we need it for this box. And then this one, this is the 5.5 side, so this is our bottom. So we're just going to cut up the middle right here. Okay, so these are our two pieces that are going to fit together to form the box. Now, to cut the hole for the little Santa, I just went ahead and cut a piece that's 3.5 by 3.5. So what you want to do is measure like a 1/2 inch from the bottom of this first, where your first score line is here. Just mark a 1/2 inch. You can mark it on here because you're not going to see it. And I just marked it like that. And then I just traced, center this is the best that you can. You want to measure it, you can measure it. But make sure it's really even, because this is where your Santa's going to go. He's the star of the show. So just trace all the way around it. And if you have an X-Acto knife, I couldn't find mine. This would be the perfect way to cut it out. So instead of that, what I did was I brought my trimmer up, and actually I lined this little edge right here. If you can see it, this edge right here at the 9-inch mark. So I had it really straight, and then I just brought my trimming blade, because lined it up with the edge there, and then just cut that down. And then you're going to turn it, and again you can line this up with the 5-inch mark here. And then cut that to there, and then the rest I'm just going to cut by hand. You can go all the way around if you want it to be exactly perfect. I think it's just as easy to cut it by hand, because this part you're actually not going to see everything, so I just cut the rest of it out by hand. Just make sure you stay on your line. Alright, so now we have the hole cut out for him. And we're going to go ahead and attach him to the front. Now, these glue tabs are going this way, right? So we're going to flip it over to the front, and we're going to attach him to the front like this. And again, you can use your Tombow or your, I'm going to use the Crystal Effects again, but you can use Tombow. If I can get the Crystal Effects to come out. I just like that you have time to move it around and place it right where it needs to go. And since we have acetate on the back, I thought this would be a really strong adhesive to use. Alright, so we're going to place him right on top. Try to line it up really close, and then just scoot him over and hold it down for a few minutes, and then we'll have him all ready, and we'll put the box together. So isn't that adorable? And this all will dry clear too. That's what I like about it. Okay, so we have him on there. And then we're going to just go ahead, and I'm going to use tear and tape because I'm going to use this box, and I really wanted to use the tear and tape because it's so big. It really needs some strong adhesive. So use whatever strong adhesive you have handy. And then we'll take the backing off of one side. And then we're going to grab our other piece and we're going to attach it just like this. Line them up really good. You can see how large this piece is. And then I'm going to remove the backing from the other side. Sometimes I just can't grab it with my nails, so see? Okay, so we have it together now. Sorry it skipped a little bit, but my battery died right in the middle of it. I didn't even notice that it was low, but I'm sorry. But anyway, it's all together now. We just attached the other end. We're going to fold in the bottom. Remember, your front always goes forward like that. So I'm going to use my fast fuse because it's handy. And I'm going to put actually a bunch on here because I don't want it to come apart. And there's a lot of thickness here on this. And if you have anything hanging over, as sometimes I do, I just trim that off. Just like that. I think that's it. Okay, so look how huge that is. See what I mean? How big that is? All right, so let's set that aside and get our lid made. So we're gonna just cut up the corners. On all four sides. And I am cutting a little sliver because it always folds in better that way. And I'm going to sharpen all these score marks. And what I'm going to use for this is my Tombow because it gives me a little bit extra time to hold it together. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Tombow on each corner and just hold it for a minute. I'll just put a little bit on each end here. Okay, so we have our top, our little lid. It should fit on there just perfect because it's a little bit larger. That 1/8 of an inch adds to that, just like that. All right, I got a little hangover on this part, and I'm going to trim that little bit off right there because I want it to be even. All right, so look at how cute. All right, so let's grab our ribbon. And we'll add our ribbon. You need quite a bit of ribbon to tie a bow for this. And I'm keeping it on the spool because this is absolutely beautiful. I don't want to waste any of it. I love this ribbon. So I'm just tying a bow. I'm going to leave this tail a little bit longer because I want them to kind of hang over. And you can play with your bow. This one actually came out pretty dang good. I'm just going to trim a little bit off the end and center it there. Isn't that cute? I love this box, and I don't know, I just love that Santa on the front. I'm going to grab a little bit of a scrap of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp our little tag. Now the tag is from the, I used this set before, I showed it to you, I love it. It's a hostess set, but if you don't have to host a party or a workshop or anything, if you spend $150 on with Stampin' Up, you can go to my blog at stampinwiththemore.com and shop right from my blog. You get hostess dollars and you can get this stamp set. And this is the one I'm using. Santa is Coming to Town. I love that. I've used all these other ones in another video that I did. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. And I'm using some real red. And usually when the stamp's this big, I'll take the stamp to the, the ink to the stamp pad. And look how cute that is. I just re-inked my stamp pad so it's really juicy. Alright, so what I'm using is our layering oval framelits. And what I did, I took it to the big shot. I'm not going to bring it back up here because it'll be a lot more time consuming. And I cut that inner part out, and then I cut another piece out with real red. I just cut another framelit, and so I have these two pieces like that. And I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop it up. And we're going to attach this to the scalloped oval piece. I'm going to use my little hole punch, and I think this is our 1/8 of an inch hole punch. And I didn't want to take away from the bow, so I'm just using some of our metallic silver thread, and I'm just going to attach it with this thread, and you can hardly see it. And I didn't want to take away from that bow or anything, so that's why I'm using it. It's really, really thin, but it's pretty darn strong. I need to scoot these out of the way here for a minute so I can bring the box back in. And I'm just going to stick it under the bow. You can see how thin it is. And just tie a knot. And we'll trim it. And there you have it. Is that not the most adorable? I love this Santa. He's so cute. And so if anybody needs any supplies, I'd appreciate it if you'd go to my blog at stampinwiththemore.com, and you can shop right from my blog. And here's the other one. So now I have two for friends and neighbors for the holidays. So everyone, until the next video, have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Bye.